Hi everybody, my name is Brody Marietti, and for my assignment today I will be presenting the environmental event, which is the Exxon Valdez oil spill. And as you can see in the photo right there, you can see plenty of oil in the water at the event of the crash. For the carrier itself, the Exxon Valdez was a 301 meter long, 51 meter wide, and 26 meter deep oil tanker that had a dead weight of 214,861 long tons. So it was a very big ship that contained a lot of oil. The oil spill. On March 24th, 1989, at 12:04 a.m. in Prince William Sound, Alaska, USA, the oil tanker Exxon Valdez struck Prince William Sound's Bly Reef. As you can see in the photo on the bottom left, this is hours after the crash. You can see smoke and fire in the water moving its way in the air, the atmosphere. Also, the oil rapidly moving its way into the ocean, all making its way closer and closer to shore. The tanker ended up spilling a grand total of 10.4 million gallons, which converts into 472.8 million liters of crude oil over the past 2 to 3 days of the crash. The tanker ended up spilling a total of 260,000 barrels of that crude oil. This crash is considered the worst oil spill worldwide in terms of damage to the environment. As you can see in the photo on the top left, massive amounts of oil in the water, and even on shore, massive amounts of oil on the rocks, and you can also see large amounts of oil on the legs and boots of the person right there. What are the impacts from this oil spill? Well, the Exxon Valdez oil spill ended up negatively affecting 2,100 kilometers of Prince William Sound's coastline. The area of the spill, Prince William Sound, being occupied to around 1 million marine birds at the time. Within the first 5 to 6 months, over 30,000 birds from 90 different species were found dead from the polluted area. With all the information gathered from over a year from the spill, researchers estimated the total birds killed from the oil pollution ranged from 100,000 to 300,000 birds. To add, an estimated 3,000 otters, 300 seals, 250 bald eagles, and 22 killer whales ended up dying from this disaster. Well, in this main photo here, it looks like there's been a whale that washed up on the Prince William Sound's coastline. Top left, that looks to be a bald eagle, which has suffered, and a marine bird who's been picked up by one of the cleanup workers and getting rid of that oil. In later studies up to the middle of 2003, there has still been evidence showing that the Alaskan coastal ecosystem's wildlife has still been harmed by the anticipated persistence of hazardous subterranean oil in continuous exposures, even at sublethal levels. In 3 areas studied, Prince William Sound, Cook Inlet Kenai, and Kodiak Alaskan Peninsula, intertidal populations of algae were affected by the spill and the cleanup. Most significantly was the removal of Fucus gunnari, the major intertidal plant, from the middle and upper intertidal zones. The cleanup. Exxon employees, federal responders, and more than 11,000 Alaska residents labored to clean up the oil spill in the months following the Exxon Valdez oil spill. Exxon paid nearly $2 billion in cleanup expenditures, and as well as $1.8 billion in habitat restoration and personal injury claims. From 1989 to 1992, the cleanup operation took around 3 years, and monitoring is still being done throughout the entire length of the coast to look at any late emerging impacts of the oil spill. 1993 Alaska State On-Scene Coordinator's report states that, according to scientists, examining the oil's fate, 20% of it evaporated, 50% of it biodegraded, 30% of it remained suitable sediments, 2% remained on shorelines, less than 1% remained on the sea, and only 14% was actually cleaned up.